morning and welcome to Happy Trails Hiking. This is Travel Tuesday and today we are talking about tips for traveling to national parks or parks in general. It should be a good time. I'm very excited about it. My name is Kay and this is the Healthy Lifestyle Show. Today is Travel Tuesday and we've got a big show for you today. Welcome to Happy Trails Hiking, and here you will find content about park travel as well as living a healthy lifestyle. And like I said a minute ago, my name is Kay, and I'm happy that you're here. It's been a fun week already. Yesterday we talked about change and how hard change is on that Healthy Lifestyle Show. Well, today we're going to be talking about something way more fun. So I decided that we needed to talk about food and animals. Those are the two things that people ask me about most when they want to know about park travel. And hey, you went to this park, or hey, you went to that state park, or you went to this national park. Where'd you eat? What animals did you see? Did you see any of this? Did you see that? So that's what we're going to talk about today. I do want to check in with my chat, say hello. So good morning to Marty's crew, our family adventures. Tony, it's good to see you. Deb Shane, Outdoor Nomad, and Lori Bryant. It's great to have you all here today. So, what things do you use when you are traveling, just in general? I use to find restaurants and things like that. I've recently started finding the convention or tourism bureau, visitors bureaus in the towns close to where I'm going. It's not something that I used to look for, but since I got in with the Midwest Travel Network, it's an important thing, and they have so many things to talk, tell you about, and sometimes coupons to offer. And they always know, hey, this place has a happy hour tonight, or you can get discounts until 4:00 on this one, or if you go after 9, you get this. So that's a place that I really like to go to. Carol with Hike With Me. Hello, it is good to see you. And in the woods with Wolfie. Awesome to see you. No problem. And Hike With Me, you're not late. Just got here, just got started. Today we're talking about food and animals for our travel adventures to parks. So Panic Deep Paranormal History is here and just put out a video about one of their travels. It wasn't park travels, but it was travel because they were over in San Diego for that one. So, anyway, to continue on with that. So convention and visitors bureaus, you get to go to that location and actually talk to a person. It's getting information from locals, and that's really important. I'm sorry, my glasses were really bad and I was having trouble seeing anything. The other things are apps, travel apps, right? We all have TripAdvisor or the Yelp or things like that to look into. And I've recently gotten into using Yelp a lot because it really, you can get discounts when you check in places. And that's a new thing for me. So Matt and I went to dinner on Friday night and I did a Yelp review on it, and it said check in. So I checked in and put a couple pictures of the things we had to eat and drink. And they said, thank you for checking in, and here's a 10% discount. I was like, yeah. So who doesn't want 10% off their dinner or drinks or appetizers or whatever? So now it's different discounts, and some places don't offer any discount, but it's worth a shot, right? So there is that. I have put together several photos today about our travel food that we have had and where it came from and kind of where we found it. But anyway, I would like to share those with you if you would allow me to. So the first one is a place that we just visited, but a week and a half ago, with Panic Deep Paranormal History. And I had to go dig out pictures from that because I was like, oh, maybe there's some cool food pictures from there because it was a bed and breakfast. So first one is the Inn at Brandywine Falls. And let me see. There it is. Okay. So in at Brandywine Falls, and this is a sunspot. It is not a ghost, just saying. But this is the inn that we stayed at. And Lori's on the porch. So Lori and I were there and enjoyed the inn for that weekend. And when we got there, the inn had snacks for us. The innkeeper had snacks for us. So we had a little Cabernet as well as little snacks. So hello, Inspired John. It's good to see you. Thank you for coming. And yes, this is a cool place. So in this instance, the inn at Brandywine Falls was recommended by the National Park Service. And Lori says, I found the inn in an article at Midwest Living magazine, and I see that over here. I can't pull up that comment, but anyway, so yes, there it is. Anyway, I found out about the Inn at Brandywine Falls from an article in Midwest Living. I've also noticed that the National Park Service has it for Cuyahoga Valley National Park, and it's one of the places to get to go stay. So that's cool. Yeah, there was wine when we got there. You are correct. It's good to see you, Rachel. Thank you for coming today. Panic T says, I'd like to stay there sometime and try to get a video of the falls first thing in the morning. That would be cool. Yes, it was really cool. And I got a video of the falls first thing in the morning. It's part of one of my very first videos on YouTube. Oh, John's here. Yeah, I'm thrilled that John's here. Thank you, Wolfie, for being here as well. So that's one way that you can find out about places to get food is either through magazines or travel reviews or things like that. There are so many travel bloggers out there that really want you to look at their stuff and they're going to give you honest suggestions like you've heard in the past from Travel Tuesday guest. All right, donuts. These donuts are I found out about them because it's part of the travel experience. I actually typed into Google, what do you have to do on Pikes Peak? What are the must-dos on Pikes Peak? And it said, you have to get donuts. These are the highest elevation donuts in the country. So these donuts are made at the top of Pikes Peak. And they're just plain cake donuts, but they're wonderful. And it was really fun to get to eat donuts at the top of Pikes Peak and then have our picture taken and do a time lapse and all that stuff. But it was a neat place to just go. You had to experience it. And so it was also one of the things that the locals were telling us. And that's the next thing I believe is that talk to the locals. Because this food is from Colorado Mountain Microbrewery. So Colorado Mountain Brewery in Colorado Springs. And we asked the locals, we asked our innkeeper actually, hey, where do we have to go? Where should we go? We really like good beer. We want to do a beer tasting, and we really like interesting food. So let me tell you about this food. This is all locally sourced veggies, and they make their bread, or the bakery down the street makes their bread, and they make their croutons from that. These are venison egg rolls. And they very much reminded me of the Southwest egg rolls at Chili's. And I don't know if any of you have ever had those, but very much reminded me of those, but they were so good. And yeah, if I talk to Matt about Colorado Mountain Brewing, he doesn't mention all the beers we tasted, which were all up here. He mentions the egg rolls, the venison egg rolls. So yeah, that was a good recommendation. See, we had to take a second picture of them. They were so good. And they had like a barbecue sauce and then a chili sauce to go with them. So they were really, really good. This one we found from Well, I wanted to take Matt to microbreweries, and that was what we were really working on. And so this is the Snake River Brewing Company, and this is their coffee stout, which is called Zonker Stout, and we got some on our way through this year again when we were there. But yeah, so we always look for a certain type. So somebody in the chat over here mentioned Tim Hortons and donuts. Well, if you have a certain type of food that you like, I go to Google Maps and I type in microbreweries. Or if you really want donuts, type in donuts and find out where all the spots to go get donuts along your route are. That's how we found Snake River Brewing Company the very first time. Sometimes if you're traveling to parks, you're camping and you aren't intending to eat dinner. So you go to the local grocery store and you ask for local things. Well, we got a Teton Range IPA. And yes, a lot of these are our beer. We took a lot of pictures for Thirsty Thursday, not so many for Hungry Thursday, but or Foodie Friday for that matter. I'll start taking more Foodie Friday pictures. I promise there's food coming. And in the Wood Wolfie says he needs that recipe for those egg rolls. So, all right, well, I'll see if I can find it. I'll go look for you. I don't mind. I'll tweet it to you if I can find it. So we went to the grocery store and got a recommendation of this IPA as well as some bison burgers from a bison farm that was close by. So that was neat. Again, asking the locals. So this is downtown Livingston, Montana. And we were actually staying with a couple of the locals, and they took us around to, well, we met at a microbrewery, and then we went to dinner there that night. So it was a really, really fun trip, and we had a great time. And I'm just, yeah, it was really fun. So Livingston, Montana was not one of those places that was necessarily on my radar to go. But yeah, it's a pass-through town as you're going to other things. I was headed to, we were headed up to Glacier on the way, but Lori happened to have some friends that were in Livingston, and we were really happy to stop there. It was great to stop there. And Inspired John says, Montana or bust. Well, it's a really pretty state to go to. Really pretty state to go to. All right, so that was asking the locals. This one, I don't know how many of you have heard of El Tovar Hotel. So raise your hand if you've heard of El Tovar Hotel. It was established in 1805, and it was created as to resemble a hunting lodge. And it is on the south rim of the Grand Canyon. And it was created by the railroads for a place for the people to stay when they got there. Well, we needed to eat, and we were on the south rim of the Grand Canyon, and I was like, okay, this is going to cost so much money. We're not rich, we're just average people, and we were traveling, and we said, okay, we're going to bite the bullet and eat at the El Tovar Hotel because it's going to be so fun. It was the experience of it. And how many places do you go to that actually have the name of the hotel and the little crest thing on the food? On the plates. That's just really cool. So yeah, this was an experience that we needed to have. And that was one of the ways we found out about it. Lori says she knows about the El Tovar Hotel, and Hike With Me would love to go to Montana. And Outdoor Nomad says Livingston is awesome. Good morning, Gilbert Rod. It's good to see you. Thanks for coming. So we are talking about food while traveling to parks today, as well as we're going to get into animals in just a few minutes. So So this is from the Altovar Hotel, and it is not my personal china. My personal china is way different than that. All right. Oh, bad picture. But asking the local one more time. We went to visit the Redwoods, and my cousin Ginger said, "You have to go to J Vineyards and Wineries." So we flew into Oakland. And she was like, "We have to go to J Vineyards and Winery for a tasting. You have to." It was one of those things. And J Vineyards is known for their bubbly. So they're known for their bubbly, but they have this is their Pinot Noir and the flowers behind it. I thought it was an interesting picture. And this is before I got started YouTubing. You can tell that I was I didn't know to take pictures anyway. But so Ginger said, "We have to go there. There's no other way to do it." So this was our trip in between Oakland and the Redwood Forest. So that's what we were doing. All right. So for those of you who don't know much about going to the Redwoods, the Redwood National Park is not, there's no lodge for it. You have to stay someplace else. I would recommend at this point the historic Requa Inn. It's really cool. This place is a hotel as well. We did not stay there, but it's called the Larapin, and it's a cool little hotel and restaurant just south. Anyway, just south in the south part of Redwood National Park. So that's the front door, but this is the food we ate. So this was a recommendation. We said we want a really good dinner, and the innkeeper we had took good care of us and said, "You need to go here if you want a really good dinner." And so we have some salmon on cucumbers and apple and cheeses and bread and hummus. And I don't remember what those were, but they were yummy. And then cream cheese. It was really pretty food. So this is a pork. It's pork. That's all I remember. It was glazed with something, and a salad and a baked potato. Hello, Supernatural Lost Adventure. It's great to see you. You're eating while you're watching. That's a good thing to be doing today. All right. So this is Crater Lake cinnamon rolls. This was in a little diner outside of Crater Lake, and I ate half of the cinnamon roll before I remembered to take a picture of it. And I asked them to keep the glaze off of it. But I found out about these cinnamon rolls, and if you know me, you know I love cinnamon rolls. But I asked them to leave the frosting off because of all the saturated fat. So it was a huge cinnamon roll. We split it at the table. It was amazing, and it was so this was on our way to Crater Lake. Carol, thank you for coming. I appreciate it so much. Hope you have a great day. Okay, so that was the food. I'm going to stop screen sharing for right now. So thank you all for joining me for that part. And I hope that you will take a look and get out of your box just a little bit. Ask the locals where the best place to eat is. And go contact those visitors bureaus before you go, because those people really know, and they know about discounts, and they know about all of those really cool things. I did want to tell you that our show today is brought to you by our store, and I made a commercial for that, and I really just want to show that to you today. So if you will allow me, I would like to show that to you. Thanks for allowing me to do that. And we'll go on with our next section. I did want to add a few things. Outdoor Nomad says, I usually use the eating places to find out local places to visit. The waiter or waitress usually is full of info. Yes, I agree with that wholeheartedly. I usually find our hikes that way. That's one of my favorite things to do. And then, yeah, if you ask loud enough, the locals in the restaurant will let you know. Hello, Patriot in the Dark. It is good to see you. Thank you for coming today. All right. So the next thing I do want to talk about, we covered food and where to find food in the parks, but I do want to talk to you about animals. And I've got about 8 minutes, and some of the things that I want to cover are important, or hopefully they're important, and hopefully they're pretty too. And Deb Shane says, excellent commercial. Thank you very much. I really like that one. And it's one of the songs, or the song there is by Akash Gandhi. And he's one of the creators, pianists on the YouTube Creator Studio. So I love most all his work. So we spent a lot of time talking about wildlife a couple weeks ago, but I wanted to go back to that today. So let's take a look. These are a couple deer. And the reason I want to cover deer is because you need to leave them alone. I have watched more people in parks. Now, I'm not against hunting. I'm against people feeding the animals in parks. There's a reason, that they're protected in the parks. So don't try to pet them. They are not pets. Don't feed them to get them to come up to you, and don't leave your food out for them. That's just, it endangers their lives. So that's a big one. The other one is turkeys. Now, these turkeys happen to be in Zion National Park. However, we see wild turkeys in Great Smoky Mountain National Park. We see them in our Ozark National Riverways. We need to watch for turkeys alongside the roads. And I do want to say, yes, you guys are making some great comments. Do not feed the animals. Exactly. Yes, people need to stop trying to domesticate my dinner. And Washington County News Station, Utah, it's great to see you. People feed the deer, and I know. And the deer that I took pictures of were in Zion Park. Lori says, I saw a deer crossing the road yesterday in front of me. I slowed down. Yes, it is good. I mean, you just need to be aware, even if you're not in parks. And yes, so it's just, turkeys are harder to see than deer, and they don't always fly away very well. So when you're traveling in and around parks, please be aware of the birds and things alongside the road. Yes, it was almost our turkeys, almost our national bird. Exactly. Yes, if you see a turkey, slow down and let me cross the road. Oh, you're goofball. All right. Thanks, Gilbert. So turkeys, these things. Yes, this is in Zion. These squirrels, yes, they are cute. Yes, they will come right up to you, like right up to you. Some will run across the trail right in front of you. Do not feed them. Do not pet them. They will bite you. It's not safe for them. It is not safe for you. Do not domesticate the animals. Leave them alone. We spend a lot of time talking about bears and elk and moose and things like that, but don't mess with the animals. Keep them wild. Keep them as wild as we possibly can. Okay, there, soapbox. Yes, you will see Matt and I taking pictures like this. We have a zoom lens, or 2, or 4 in our car When we saw this animal on the road, Matt had his zoom lens. I had my zoom video. I had my digital zoom lens, and we were working we were stationary and in our car. So, I mean, it crossed the road in front of us. We were as far away as we possibly could be. And you can see a couple of little cars back there in the Boca. So, yes, stay far away. This is what was... This bothers me, but I don't know that I can do much about it. That is a chair. This is a fire pit. The elk was getting something out of this fire pit. We were next to our truck, backed up as close to our truck as we could possibly get. This is in Rocky Mountain National Park at Timber Creek campground. And yeah, it was scary. Yes, Washington County News Station says there was a lady charged by a buffalo at Yellowstone. Yeah, there have been several incidences where people think that they're just big fluffy things. Several instances. We're going to get to that. I think I have at least one more picture. Yes, two more actually. This is the moose that we saw outside of our campground. And Inspired John, here's your moose. She's not kissable. So we had just packed up a camp, and she walked up 25 yards from our campsite and was on the other side of the creek. And so this was a female moose, and she had 2 calves with her, and they were beautiful to watch. This was my very, very first moose sighting ever, and I'll never forget it. It was amazing. And I was honored to be in that space, but I was very far away. I was as far away as I could possibly be, and we were backed up against our truck again. Timber Creek Campground is a wildlife haven, place where they like to be. They like the creek there, and they like the grasslands that are just beyond the mountains. So anyway, and Outdoor Nomad said some people think fire pits are trash cans. I agree, and they're not. Pack it in, pack it out. Same goes with car camping. So yes, Rachel Rawson put out a wonderful video today, and John is adoring a moose statue, stuffed moose at the end. So I do have one more thing to share with you, if you don't mind me going long just a little bit today. Last time I was on, I shared information from the National Park Service, and I wanted to do that again. I don't have any pictures to go along with it, so I'm going to have to just read, and I'm sorry about that. I guess I could show it to you as I talk. I can do that because I'm cool that way, or something. Thank you all for being here today. It's been wonderful to have you. National Park Service on October 6th, so Sunday, said, it has been said people in sleeping bags are soft tacos for bear in the bear world. False. Hammocks are the soft tacos in the bear world. Sleeping bags are the burrito. Don't become a bearito. Be bear aware. Seeing a bear in the wild is a special treat for any visitor to a national park. While it is an exciting moment, it is important to remember that bears in national parks are wild and can be dangerous. Once a bear has noticed you and is paying attention to you, additional strategies can help prevent a situation from escalating. 1, identify yourself by talking calmly so the bear knows you are human and not a prey animal. Remain still. Stand your ground, but slowly wave your arms. It may come closer or stand on its hind legs to get a better look or smell. A standing bear is usually curious, not threatening. I'd feel threatened. All right. Stay calm. And remember that most bears don't want to attack you. They usually want to be just left alone. Bears also may react defensively by woofing, yawning, salivating, growling, snapping their jaws, or laying their ears back. 4, continue to talk to the bear in low tones. In other words, I need to like not freak out. This will help you stay calmer and it won't be threatening to the bear. A scream or sudden movement may trigger an attack. Next bullet, pick up small children immediately. Next bullet, hike and travel in groups. Groups of people are usually noisier and smellier than a single person. Next, make yourselves look as large as possible. For example, move to higher ground. Next, if a bear is stationary, move away slowly and sideways. This allows you to keep eye contact or keep an eye on the bear and avoid tripping. Do not allow the bear to access your food. Getting your food will only encourage the bear and make the problem worse for others. And then last, keep a flashlight and your bear spray in a tent at night in a backcountry camp. Place sleeping areas at least 100 yards away from cooking and food storage areas. You can find more bear safety tips at this. I will put that in the chat. And I thought you might want to see the picture because it's pretty and scary all at once. Anyway, but there is that. Guys, I have really appreciated you being here with me today. Thank you for coming for Travel Tuesday. Thank you for the thumbs ups. If you liked what you saw, please give it a thumbs up. Remember to come back and leave a comment down below. I guess if you didn't like what you heard, please leave a comment down below and give me a thumbs down. Whatever. It's all good. And then if you come back and leave a comment below, that will let YouTube know that I am doing something that is interesting to others. Share this with someone else who might be interested in finding out about food travel tips as well as animal travel tips. And remember, let's see. I need to answer that question. Wow, have we ever come across any bears on your hikes? We have. We've seen a number of bears. And it's, yeah, I think one summer we saw 8 bears in the park in Yellowstone. So yeah, anyway, I've got videos on them. I'll tell you those stories later. Remember, guys, you are not replaceable. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Go out and live the life that you love. Have a great day, guys.